Preparing. Okay, hey, TGIF. We are approaching one of our fun favorite times of the year. Laura, I'm so excited we're here together. How you doing?
I am doing great. This is my favorite holiday of the year. And you know why? My dad was born on Halloween, and my birthday's 3 days afterwards. So Halloween, we always celebrated our birthdays together. So I am just excited because plus we got grandkids now, and it's just awesome. So
So, Laura, are you joining the club with me now? You're going to be 60.
I'm
Woohoo!
gonna be 60. I can't believe it. Well, whatever.
There's
My
no
God,
way. You know what? 60 is the new 40. I tell you,
yeah,
I
I
love
know.
your background. I love that background you got going on there.
Yeah, well, we're Debbie and I are, we're experimenting with things. So just be prepared. We're going to have some really interesting things this next till the end of the year. So, yeah, we're excited. We're excited because we got so many people that are watching us, and we're every day we're gaining more and more people. So we're excited about that. Thank you, everyone. But we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Halloween.
Yep.
I was reading some stuff and I had heard some stuff. You look up stuff and then you forget. But Halloween is always celebrated on October 31st. It's great. This year is going to be on a Sunday. So families could get together more. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costume to ward off ghosts. And in the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as the time of All Saints. Mm-hmm. So if you're Catholic, you understand that it's All Saints Day the next day. And the evening before was known as All Hallows Eve, and later Halloween. Over time, Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festival gathering, and donning costumes and eating treats. So, Deb, you want to add more on to that?
Well, I tell you,
fascinating.
Oh, it is fascinating. And I think we as adults here know it how we knew it when we were younger, obviously going trick-or-treating and always obviously getting the candy and, doing, all of the carving of the pumpkins, which I know my grandson's going to do this evening with some friends, and then we're going to do on Sunday. And I like the fact that this year it's on a Sunday because it can be a lot of fun. I mean, we all have like our different ways that we like to celebrate. Laura, what's a way that your family likes to do some stuff? I love to hear this.
Well, first of all, it was a tradition in our family because I said my father's birthday was on Halloween and mine was 3 days. We always celebrated our birthdays on that day. And we had the flower shop. As most of you know, we had a big flower shop in Garden Center. And we would not work that day. We would just sit there and celebrate. We'd have all kinds of food and stuff like that. And customers would come in and actually bring my dad gifts and make cakes and stuff for him. So it was always a big thing. Or when I was a kid, we always went to my grandma's house. Like I said, it was such a big holiday in our family. It was probably bigger than even Thanksgiving was. And that, all us kids got together and everything. But, the tradition in my family as I grew up and had my own children is that we would open up our garage, and I would set up a long table. Yep. And sometimes I even have hot dogs out there and maybe chili or something and drinks. And I'd have the trick-or-treating things out there and the kids would come by. But the fun thing was the year that my son, Tony, he came up with this trick of how to make toothpicks fly. Oh. So he would sit there with these 2 toothpicks, and I wish I could do it so I could show you, but he would make a toothpick fly. Sorry, I can't talk today. But so the kids would come and they go trick or treat. And he goes, you know what? I have a trick for you, you know? So he would do that. And then they would bring all their friends. They had to see this, how to do this. It was amazing. It was so much fun. The whole neighborhood would be out trick or treating. The parents would be walking around with the kids. Some people had beer at their house. You could have beer, cider, all kinds of stuff. It was a big thing in Plainfield in our neighborhood. My kids loved it. And this year it's going to be great because my grandkids are here and I want to go out with them this year. So Debbie, how about with you? What things did you guys do?
Well, I just want to go back to last year and just say that we had such a fun time because Lori actually we had a little pumpkin contest, carving contest, and Lori actually was the judge. And because of like the current situation back last year where we were more in, not going places, it was awesome. So now this year, I don't know if we're actually going to do a contest per se, but I do know that we will be decorating. I know we're going to have everybody over for dinner, and I know I'm making a big thing of chili, which is a big deal. Got to make some nachos, got to make some I'm going to do pumpkin bars, like kind of like a cream cheese pumpkin bar instead of a cheesecake. And so just kind of fun, like, goof around, have some stuff. The kids coming to the door, love to watch them. Mariano's going to want to go trick-or-treating. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so that for us will be a great way to be kind of goofy, silly, and whatever. And I think these are the little things, the traditions, one of the years I did not make chili due to whatever reason it was, and everybody's like, where's the chili? So, everybody, what we don't sometimes really focus on and realize is that our family's watching us and they see what that tradition is. And if something's missing, they get a little mad, they want to be, they want that to go. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We went to a couple Halloween little like haunted houses in the area already that people are doing kind of like on their driveways and in their houses, by their houses. That is always a lot of fun. I think I have seen more of these, you guys, these huge, humongous like skeleton guys that are like, you look up and they're still going. So I don't know where people are getting these. I think somebody said Home Depot, they're humongous. I think they were sold out in the summer, I heard. People are getting into decorations like crazy. And word of warning, guys, if you don't have your Halloween candy, you better get your butt out there and get it today, because I'm telling you that the shelves are like just like annihilated. I luckily did yeah, I was shocked. I had to run in to get some yogurt at the store, and I'm like, what is going on? The candy is like gone, so just word of warning. So turning it back to you, Laura, about
I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you remember, it could be two ways. Either do you remember your first costume that you can remember, or your favorite Halloween costume as a kid?
I actually could tell you that this is going to be hilarious. I can't, but can I bring it forward to like actually funny things about when we did it when we were like young adults? Well, remember all the parties we hosted? I have to go back to that because I just got to say, we hosted quite a few Halloween parties.
Oh my gosh.
And we had some which we can't even talk about online. Some of the costumes that did attend our parties. Okay. But I think one of the funniest ones I think really that I can remember too, though, going back to childhood, is probably Little Red Riding Hood. I think I used to do some of that kind of stuff. But I have to say, I remembered, I was reminiscing today and thinking about all those funny parties and what we all dressed up as. So that really doesn't answer your question, but I just felt like I had to say that. So
do you remember? I remember you dressing up as a red devil.
Oh, I did do that. Yes. And actually, I'm not proud of that though, because it goes against my beliefs, and I don't know. But I do remember that, and I had the little horns, and they were made out of sequins.
Right,
I remember that.
And I remember we went to the haunted trail on Harlem Avenue.
Yeah.
And I was Carmen Miranda. Oh my God, I love that.
That was the bomb. You had all that fruit up here. So you guys, when we talk about all this stuff, okay, so me having like a background with the hair part, but Lori being so utterly creative in every aspect, we had some kick butt costumes throughout the years. There's some stuff. I remember Janet, Janet went as that mermaid that one time? Janet,
Yeah.
if you're listening, we're talking about you. Oh my God, that was a great costume.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
we
I went as a peacock. Remember when I did all
Your
the peacock
peacock.
dresses?
Oh my God. You had the feathers going backwards and the way that you had your eye makeup, like it was just gorgeous. It was just all in. I mean, we really could have honestly probably won some contests. We
Oh
really
yeah.
could have.
Oh yeah.
With some of the stuff that we did, it was insane. But good to know. maybe
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
find maybe we could find some of those pictures and post them. The
Oh
ones
yeah.
that are the
Yeah.
appropriate ones, okay? So
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. Another tradition that was in my family is, my father was you talk about me creative. He was just unbelievable. He came up with things before people even came up with it. So when my mom was pregnant with me, I was actually due the end of November, but I was born early. But I went into labor. My mom went into labor right before Halloween. And my dad and my uncles used to paint these pumpkins before people even painted pumpkins. What I don't know if you guys could see the picture. There's my dad making a funny face.
I can see it. Yes. Yes.
They
We can
used to
see it.
They used to take gourds and they used to hammer the gourds in and make
Okay.
faces on the pumpkins and paint them.
Wow.
All kinds of things, witches and everything. They must have made like 300 or more of them and they sold them like crazy.
I
So
believe
the
it.
funny thing about this picture was, my dad's making a funny face, but was that this is the year I was to be born. And my dad told my mom, you can't have the baby yet because I'm still painting pumpkins. So that's what makes me think of Halloween every year, and stuff. So yeah, we just have so many great memories, and the things are, my favorite as a kid. I'm going to ask myself that question. I was Snow White. I always wanted to be Snow White, and I still want to be Snow White. That's my favorite. But now our lives are changed a lot. Things are different. We have the trunk or treats. Okay. And the trunk or treats are really awesome because it's safe.
Yeah.
And I really think, I don't know about you, Debbie, but I really think that's going to be the way of the future, is the trunk or treats.
Yeah.
Almost every church. I know my granddaughter's school is doing one.
Right.
And it's nice because the kids don't have to walk outside in the weather. Do you remember when you were a kid, we used to use pillowcases?
Yes, we did.
For our candy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my brother Mike, he'd come home and he'd dump his candy and he'd go back out again. He didn't have curfews and stuff like they do now. Mm-hmm. But these trunk or treats are really neat. We were participated in one last year. Oh my gosh, Gary and I had such a good time. And we had so much fun decorating our car and everything, and just to see all the different kinds of cars that people see. Have you ever participated in one of those, Debbie?
I missed the one that we had this last week. I wanted to. Our church did have one with the church and the school, but I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. And it just makes so much sense. It totally makes sense,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, go ahead, Deb. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, do you remember that I don't care if it was pouring out, we were still out there. We were all, and I mean, way into our like high school years, we were all hanging out, going and doing all that,
Halloween was a very big time for us. And like I said, kudos to all the schools and churches that came up with this trunk or treat, because you guys are trying to keep the holiday alive. With everything going on in this world, they're trying to take these holidays away from these kids. And you know what? It's just not right. We have so many things that we have to deal with every day. We have to have something to look forward to.
Correct.
And Halloween is such a great time. It's a neat time of year. And Sunday's supposed to be nice outside, like 50 degrees in the Chicago area, no rain.
I know. I heard that too, which means, again, consider wherever you are. If it's a person if you're going to be home giving out candy, I always panic. How many of you guys do this where you buy candy and you look at it and you think, I don't know if this is going to be enough. And then you go out and buy a whole bunch more. It turns out the original amount was really okay. And now you have all this leftover candy. So what do you do with it? give it to a homeless shelter, give it to the school, send it to somebody's office, get it out of your house.
Yeah, you're
Without
right.
warning, get it out fast, because then you don't have any temptation. And then, or keep the candy you don't like, buy the
Mhm.
candy you don't like. We've been talking about, this is health and wellness. We are talking about
Yeah,
party and having fun.
right,
So let's
right.
talk about, like, okay, future here. Allow yourself to have your favorite candy. Actually, let's do this. My favorite candy is an almond joy, because I love the almonds, I love the nuts, I love the chocolate. Lori, what's your favorite?
Oh, of course, the Snickers bar. That's my
Yep,
favorite.
that's good too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I love all candy, so you can't say, buy something you don't like. I like all candy, so that's not even an issue. But years ago, when we were kids, they did a lot of different stuff. They gave out apples.
Oh yes.
Do they still give out money? Some people give out coins and stuff.
I see it once in a while. You'll find somebody in
Yeah,
pencils and things, which is
yeah,
smart,
yeah,
really. you know. But I
yeah.
remember now. Did you remember this? This happened to me, that you'd have to go home. We weren't allowed to have one bite of anything. You had to You had to take your pillowcase, and you had to
Right.
pour it down on the table, and your parents would go through it and make sure that everything was safe, because I mean, there were some odd things that happened. We won't say what they were, but things that happened when we were
Yeah.
younger, and you
Mhm.
just have to be careful. So, but
Yeah, I just think that it is safer, I think, now for Halloween because they set some rules,
yeah,
and you don't go to that many houses anymore because you've done the
no,
trunk or treating.
right.
And I think celebrating with your family, Debbie, you have such a beautiful and wonderful family. And I just love the traditions that you do with your family. And I was so excited that I got to judge via Zoom last
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
via Zoom, the pumpkins. So, come be creative. And you know what? I'm going to ask people to put pictures on, send pictures, post them on our site. We
Yes.
see stuff that you guys did. I know I'm going to do that with my grandkids and stuff. I think we're going Saturday night. I'm going with my son and his family to Blackberry Farm. And we're
Oh
going
my gosh.
I think they're having
Yeah.
a pumpkin thing, but there's a lot of stuff going on
Right.
this weekend. Go
There
on,
is.
go in your local paper, or
Mhm.
just go online and type, your town and see what's on for Halloween. You'll find a lot of stuff. And
Absolutely.
and I know your grandson participated in a haunted house, huh?
Yeah, this little guy, man, I tell you, if anybody lives in our area, PM me and I'll give you an address. There's some really cool haunted house in the area that he and his one cousin are gonna do. And it's kind of funny how, like, these kids are really getting into it, but these families and people are making these, like, places that people can go and do, so
Yeah,
that it kind of gives them, a very safe environment. It's all outside and it's awesome. So, but
that's great. Yeah.
yeah. So what else, Laura? We want to talk about anything else here? We've got, like, a couple things about, I mean, with All Saints Day being the next day
Yeah,
after
All Saints
Halloween,
Day is a big day, and then the day after that is All Souls Day.
which
And
is amazing. And we have to
yeah,
all remember that. Anybody that you have.
that had died, that you pray for them on the next day. But
Mhm.
it's just amazing how these things had started. They started with simple things and they turn into these traditions. And
Mhm.
that's why when I get really kind of sad when I think about some schools are not doing Halloween parties and some schools don't do Halloween parades like they used to do. And it makes me kind of sad because that's the one holiday that a kid could be a kid and everybody could be a kid. We're all kids on Halloween, you
Absolutely.
know?
Well,
So,
I'll tell you, bring it into the party aspect. What would be really fun this weekend, because you can't do everything all in one day, and you want to get out and do the decorating. But tonight and tomorrow also really good times to get some of those Halloween movies out. You know,
yeah.
those are
Yeah.
fun. And for me, of course, I don't like things that are too scary, and maybe some people do, but it's definitely a really fun time to pull out even the silly ones. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I know, and here that there's Halloween Kills and Halloween. There's Halloween movies that were released, like the Scream. That's another one, and
Yeah.
then Friday the
Scream.
13th, Friday the 13th.
Right.
But what about Hocus Pocus?
Okay,
Or
that's my favorite Halloween.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
and
my God, I
Beetlejuice.
watch it all year round. I love that movie.
Yeah, and
One of my favorites. I hope
Beetlejuice.
that they make a new one. I want them to make a Halloween too. I mean, Hocus Pocus too. I just love that movie. And
Totally. And then
yeah.
even there's one called The Great Pumpkin by Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah, you know what? I mean, the kids today are fortunate. They can look at these movies anytime they want because of DVDs and TV and stuff. When we were kids, that was the only time we knew when Halloween was, when Charlie Brown would come on.
True,
Those are
true.
indications of
Yeah,
when you're real little, you didn't know all that stuff. And so that's how you knew, besides the
right,
mother. But
right.
yeah, those were great times. And you know what? You could do all that stuff with your kids now. Rent that movie, or I shouldn't say rent, you don't rent that stuff anymore, but they have the Halloween movies on all the different cable stuff, and sit down with your kids and tell them what you were doing when you were a kid. You know,
Absolutely.
I think our kids, our grandkids especially, are really excited that we did fun stuff when they were a kid. Because they
Hmm.
think of us as grandparents. They don't think, oh, yeah, they didn't have any fun. We had so much fun. We could talk about our traditions and why it's important. People are
Hmm.
forgetting to do that with their families. We can't forget our traditions
Right.
because that's who our families, that's who we are, you
Hmm.
know? Get them away from the video games. Get them away from all that, the computers and the phones. Turn off the phones, right? That's
Great.
a little bit more Halloween this weekend.
Right. Well, and also I'm going to encourage everybody, and Lori, please for you do this, and I'll do this for you too. Is let's get some pictures of our grandkids,
Yeah.
and if you're a parent that has young kids, or if you're an adult and you're going to a party, take a picture. I saw a couple pictures that were posted on Facebook just this last week of people who actually went to like previous years. In fact, we had Bob Beatty on. He had a crazy
Yeah,
picture. I don't know if you
he's a
saw that.
great
It was
teacher.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then a couple other people that we both mutually know that, and it's fun. So you guys go ahead and post the pictures, and then do us a favor, you guys. We're really pushing here with our YouTube. We really want to get people to subscribe to our YouTube so that we can have that grow. Then all of the videos, just when we're done, we download them on there, and you'll get notified. You can get to them easier than being on Facebook.
yeah.
And also, we're so excited because we are, we're excelling. We're adding people on all the time. And you know what's really fun about that is that we're meeting people and people are touching people's lives. We're seeing things happen, and we never expected this. We really didn't.
Right,
Lori and I, again, I
right.
say it all the time, two crazy chicks that decided to do this, to have a little bit of do something. And it's evolved to some really cool parts of our life, and I hear people that tell us that, and Lori, you get this a lot. You'll have people reach out and say, wow, what you guys
Wow.
did resonated with me.
Yeah.
What you guys
People
talked
are
about.
right.
Yeah. And it's
People
not
love
us.
us. And we're doing this, we're gaining stuff for ourselves too.
Right.
And I want to reach out to people too. If you have something that you want to talk about, or if you have something interesting that's happened in your life, we want to interview you. It's only 15, 20 minutes on a Wednesday, and
Yeah.
we can even do it ahead of time and record it. But I have some people that I reached out to. I haven't even talked to Deb yet. And if I get them, I'm going to be so excited because they're in the entertainment field.
Ooh.
So we are anybody. I mean, we have so many people that have so many neat stories. We want to hear about you. No story is too small and no story is too
Right.
big.
Right.
But
Love that. I love
out.
Sure. I love how you said that, Laura, because it's so true. I mean, we have some people
Yeah.
that we've interviewed that are just so like, actually, we're nervous to even come on. And we said, no, we're just sitting here talking. We want to hear. And, some of those people have touched lives and have given other people hope. And so don't hold back on your story. Don't hold back on what you have to share, because we are here to help others. And that's the whole thing about the whole title, or for the health and wellness of you. With that, you guys, I want to say, be safe. don't eat too much candy.
Yeah.
Okay. And really be safe in the environment of outside, watching for cars and all that stuff too. I mean, I don't think I should have to remind everybody about that, but that's the mom in me. But also just wanted to say thank you so much for spending time with us and share us. And we really appreciate you all, and have a great, great, safe weekend. Take care, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.